Hi, I told you guys when you ask, I am obligated to answer. I have received a couple of questions from you guys and queries asking me whether Kuza Momentum Fund is licensed by CMA, telling me whether it's ultra risky, asking me whether it's a good investment to undertake or whether it's a good place or a safe place to keep your money. So in today's episode, I'm going to be giving you a very high level review of Kuza Momentum Fund. My name is Berlin. Welcome back to Wealthwise, your home of financial freedom. In today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Kuza Momentum Fund, and I'll also touch a little on the Kuza Sharia Fund. Both of these funds are being run by the same company, Kuza Asset Management Limited. Kuza Asset Management Limited is a company that is licensed by CMA. So is it licensed by CMA? Tick. Now, Kuza Momentum Fund is a product of Kuza Asset Management Limited. And is it licensed by CMA? Correct. It is regulated by CMA. So what exactly is Kuza Momentum Fund? Kuza Momentum Fund is a collective investment scheme being run by Kuza Asset Management Limited. And yes, it is licensed by CMA. For you to start investing in Kuza Momentum Fund, you need to be having 250,000 shillings as a minimum capital, and any top-up should be a minimum of 100,000 shillings. I think it's one of the special funds with the least management fee. They charge a management fee of 2%. And they also have a lock-in period of 6 months. Now, this gives the indication that it's a fund, it's an investment, it's a growth investment. Yeah, actually they say it's a growth investment. It's a growth investment. So for growth investment, you are encouraged to invest, to have a long-term investment vision or a long-term investment objective to allow your money to grow through the compounding effect, number one. Number two, you also need a longer duration of time for the markets to adjust themselves. In case there was a loss, you have time to recover that loss. In case there was a drop in the share prices, you have time for the market to adjust itself and you bounce back from that loss. Yeah, their trustees is a cooperative bank and the custodian is KCB. This fund was started in the year 2022 December, so it's about 2 years old, yeah, in the market. Okay, now the objective of this fund, as per the fund manager, is the investment objective. Now I want you to listen to this, yeah. The investment objective as per the fund manager, they say the investment objective of the Kuza Momentum Fund is to offer investors long-term capital growth. This is achieved by investing in diversified spread of equities and fixed income securities locally and offshore. Locally and offshore. All right. So did they invest locally and did they invest offshore? Now, in their portfolio, as per the fact sheet, the portfolio, they had 58.71% of quoted securities. It is not clear in this fact sheet whether this is locally and offshore as per the fund objective. Collective investment scheme, 9.73%, and 10.17% was invested in cash and bank deposits, and 21% was invested in government securities. Now, we all know that government securities and cash and bank deposits are considered low-risk investment. Collective investment schemes are also considered, well, some are considered moderate risk and others, like the MMFs, are considered low risk. So this could actually be a moderate risk or a low risk investment, yeah? And then quoted securities, which is now the shares, is considered a high risk, moderate to high risk investment. Now, this fund manager Having seen that that asset diversification, yeah, this fund manager classifies this risk as 4. The risk is number 1 to 5, 1 being low risk, which would be the government securities, and 5 being the what I would say catastrophic. Okay, when the risk is we normally start from the low risk to catastrophic. Okay, so they classify this as number 4. In my opinion, in my individual opinion, it probably would have been classified as 3 and not a 4. Okay, but that beside the point. Remember I told you that its objective was to invest in low risk, in a diversified spread of equities and fixed income securities, both locally and offshore. So did they invest locally? Yes, they did. Did they invest in the foreign markets, in global markets, as per their fund objective? To be honest, at this particular instance, I don't know. Okay, because I'm yet to cite their audited financials. However, their audited financials as at December 2023, there was no offshore investment. They only invested locally, so they played safe. Maybe or maybe not. Why am I interested in global investment? Global investment is part of portfolio diversification. There are certain risks that investing globally will help you to mitigate. And yes, it is true that it will expose you to certain risk. Part of the risk that the global market investing helps you to mitigate is market risk, political risk, concentration risk, and other risks that I may not remember at this particular instance. But asset diversification or portfolio diversification carries its advantages. It carries more advantages than the disadvantages. Anyways, I'll dig deeper into that once I have cited the audited report for the December 2024 financials, which then we will compare with the facts, with the information provided on this fact sheet and form an opinion. Okay? But that aside, for a fund which is classified as 4, moderate risk, what is the expected return? Remember, there's a relationship between risk and returns, okay? So this fund manager is telling us that when you invest in this fund, it is a moderate risk. We rate it number 4, next to catastrophic in risk, okay? What is their base rate, their benchmark rate? 12%. In other words, Kuza Momentum Fund is telling us that their target is to give us a return on investment of at least 12%. When they get to 12%, they will have attained their objective. Anything above that is a meeting and exceeding expectation. If they earn 15%, they have met and exceeded your expectation, because when you invest in this, you already know that the benchmark is 12%. I think for a fund with a risk rating of 4 out of 5, you need to be expecting to pay us better. The money market fund, the Kuza Money Market Fund, has been benchmarked on the treasury bills. This is a low-risk investment. And this low-risk investment is expected to pay us at least 10%. Now that is the current 91-day treasury bill, yeah? The MMF is marked against the 91-day treasury bill, and that is 10%. So when you increase your risk, when you're taking higher risk, you expect to have higher returns. Anyways, did they meet the objective? Of course they did. They reported a return on investment of 48.86%. But if you have been watching my videos, I had told you that when choosing a fund manager, the interest rate is not the first thing, is not the only thing that you go for. I told you, you confirm it is regulated, confirm the past performance, confirm the asset under management, their diversification, portfolio diversification, their objective, is it aligned to the objective, and so many other things that you need to confirm, so many other check boxes that you need to tick before giving somebody your money to manage. With that in mind, do let me know in the comment section what you think about this fund. Today, I do not have an opinion on this fund. I'm only sharing my observation. This fund manager also has a Sharia compliant fund, which is called Kuza Momentum Fund. Now, let me read for you the investment objective of this Sharia fund, yeah? The investment objective of the Kuza Momentum Fund is to offer investors long-term capital growth by investing in Sharia-compliant investments only. This is achieved by investing in a diversified investment in halal businesses and securities spanning from local and offshore equities, IPOs, REITs, and sukuk investments. Let me repeat that. This is achieved by investing in a diversified investment in halal businesses and securities spanning from local and offshore equities, IPOs, REITs, and sukuk investments. Sukuk investments are Sharia compliant bonds. So is this what the fund did? Look at the asset allocation. Cash bank placement, 100%. What was the risk indicator? Risk classification? It was classified as moderate risk, 4%. So, like I said, when choosing a fund manager, look at the fund objective. Look at the assets, portfolio diversification. I'm getting the impression that this fund was playing safe. Since it's new in the market, maybe they've not fully staffed, they don't have a global markets person, or they are trying to play safe so as to win investors' confidence. But at a personal level, the moment I am bringing my money to you, and you have told me it's a moderate risk, and you have told me you're going to invest in shares, you're going to invest in REITs, in IPOs, and bonds, I know the possible returns that I could get from this investment, this high-risk investment. Yes, I also know that my capital is not guaranteed, and I'm glad that you have given me that in the disclaimer. But when you receive my money, promising to invest it in these high-yield assets, and then you pack 100% of that money in cash and bank placements, and then you say that there's a lot of idle money in the bank, there's some element of lack of something is not adding up for me, really, honestly, something is not adding up for me. It is a high-risk investment, it's a high-yield investment, I'm expecting higher returns, you are benchmarking at 1% above the treasury bills, 1% above the treasury bills, you are investing the entire amount, the entire portfolio in cash and bank accounts, which I have access to already, in cash and bank accounts, yet you had said that you want to remove money from there's a lot of idle money in the banking sector. You want to remove money from the banking sector and invest on behalf of people. I have no comments. Just subscribe to this channel because this is your home of financial freedom. Today, let me leave you guys hanging.